This is Neil Chatterjee, Chief Government Affairs Officer at Palmetto, with another edition of Energy Policy News and Notes with Neil. A lot of activity this week in Washington, D.C., particularly focused on Congress. House and Senate leadership went to the White House and met with the president and emerged on the same page when it comes to the critical budget reconciliation process that will unlock President Trump's agenda. Now, in order to make the very first step to start the process, each chamber needs to pass an identical budget resolution. To date, the Senate and the House passed very different resolutions, which has been holding up committees' ability to move forward and actually start drafting the reconciliation bills. The two leaders emerged from the White House on the same page, and the Senate is indicating that they could move as quickly as next week on their version of the budget resolution, which would enable the House to move the following week. And if both chambers successfully pass their resolutions, then we'd be off and running on the reconciliation process post the Easter recess. Energy remains a huge topic, and there's a lot of questions about how the energy tax credits will be managed. Numerous industries have been up on the Hill, meeting with lawmakers, advocating for the case that in this moment where demand for energy is soaring, we need to preserve some of these critical clean energy tax credits. So this will remain a huge focus for Congress for the foreseeable future. But it was a big week for both Speaker Mike Johnson and Senate Republican leader John Thune, as they seem to be on the same page moving forward. In other critical news, my former agency, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, has found itself in the middle squarely of the challenge of data center co-locations. This is how do we make sure that we have enough power to supply these data centers necessary to support AI so that America can win the AI race. FERC has been wrestling with this because there's some challenges here. We want to make sure that we have enough power to win the AI race, but we don't want to dramatically increase electricity prices for consumers who are already struggling with high prices. And more critically, we don't want to see threats to reliability or resource adequacy. We've got a limited amount of capacity, and if these data centers require a significant amount of power, that could lead to challenges down the road in terms of resource adequacy. So FERC has started a process to really address this challenge, and there was a critical milestone that happened this week. PJM, the grid operator in the region in which a lot of these data centers are looking potentially to co-locate at existing sites of generation, came in with a filing to the commission. It's now open for comment and will lead to further steps. This is a big issue. It's kind of flying under the radar a little bit outside of FERC land, but it is hugely important, in my view, to all Americans, and I will continue to keep you all posted on this. Thank you again for tuning in to another episode of Energy Policy Notes with Neil.